Going to be a man short, so at least I guess you know that going in. How does that affect things? That's what everyone wants to know.
It doesn't affect anything. You know, we've had an unbelievable spring. Our summer was as consistent as we've had. We've had great improvement. Our young players right now are very mature, our freshman class in particular. And here through our first preseason of 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks, we've had great consistency. So we just look forward to continuing that. You know, the start of practice in college is official, but it seems like we've been working very hard towards this day for a long time. And our players, you know, they're excited to get started, but at the same time, we know it's a long process.
You talk about that process with filling in that starter. You said it really doesn't make too much of a difference now, but somebody's going to have to step up, right?
All players step up. You know, each season's a new opportunity for, you know, every guy who practices every single day to earn the right to play well and develop. And opportunities are created a lot of different ways. We've experienced that through the past with injuries and departures and whatnot, and guys have taken advantage of it. So we feel like we have a group of people that are very committed to one another, and as long as we stay together and we're focused on, you know, sort of doing things the right way, like we like to do them every single day in practice, and you know, taking each week at a time to evaluate production, that we'll find a group of guys that are ready to do what we ask them.
When you head into the start of camp like this and get things going, you obviously had a really good off season you were talking about. What are the priorities this far out from a game?
Priorities this far out is really just honestly installing the system and perfecting it, and I think we've worked hard just in terms of a conditioning base. I like where we're at there. I think from a knowledge standpoint of some base things on both sides of the ball, we've been able to really take advantage of that, and now it's sort of repping everything to extreme to get as many potential combinations of players that are comfortable with one another and developing a chemistry of doing the things that we like to do. And you know, it's a build-up. It really is. The month of October is upon us quickly. We have you know, sort of a another 3 or 4 weeks before we really get to put this thing into action, and each week goes fast. So it's installing and perfecting things, and sort of creating a new identity as a team.
Especially considering how much you had to change up your practice regiment last year. How nice is it to kind of have a full arsenal again with depth?
Yeah, it feels a little bit awkward in there having so many bodies in practice, but it's refreshing to have the repetitions of guys and guys going hard, not saving themselves, and you're not worried about saving yourself, so to speak, as a coach by you know, preparing to not be injured on game day and all that stuff. But we have a group that's worked very hard. Our upperclassmen know what they're doing. Our returners from a year ago that even didn't play are more comfortable. Our freshmen are mature and they're handling things very well so far. So, you know, the depth of what we have, the versatility we have, it's going to be unique, and you know, it's going to be a task to sort of get the right combos on the floor. And I think our young people have to be ready to go.
You can't replace a guy like Jordan Seibert, obviously, overnight, but it seems, by all accounts, kind of the hype around Charles Cook is wait until you see this guy play.
Well, yeah, Charles is his own guy. You know, Jordan came here and, you know, I thought, you know, did a nice job improving himself. And I think that's what Charles has to be consumed with, is improving himself. He's a talented guy. He's played in college before. But again, he's going to be a feel-out process. You know, you get in front of those fans for the first time. You get to play with people for the first time you haven't played with. He's going to go through that feel-it-out process. Jordan did it. A lot of guys that we've had, even a V. Sanford, he did it. And I think you get to see Charles at his finest when he's got some games under his belt and as time goes by. But he's improved. He's really worked hard. He's a great kid. And, you know, he's going to add a scoring punch from the perimeter that we'll need.
With Deshaun gone for a while, who fills that hole at the 4? Is it one guy? Is it a couple of guys?
I'm not real concerned about it. You know, I really, you know, to me, we're going to have unique combinations on the floor. We've prepared to play small. We've prepared to play big. So by doing that, being able to play different combinations of people, we have more than enough, you know, personnel-wise that'll be able to slide into certain spots. And you know, I think our younger guys, without, you know, realizing it'll be forced into the action fast. We'll suffer some consequences of the young mistakes, but we're also going to get great gains out of their experience level as they continue to develop throughout the course of the year and on so into their careers.
The swagger of this team, what you've been able to do the last 2 years nationally, it's different. The expectations outside the program, obviously I'm sure you've had the same since you've been here, but outside the program are different. What does that do to the program, and what does that do in terms of your players' confidence or something they can ride on, or maybe not?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we always talk about this is you can't ride on the coattails of past seasons, one as an individual player and two as a team. And if you expect the things that have happened in the past to happen just because you've been here, it doesn't really work that way. And I thought at our spring and our summer, as consistent as we were in the weight room and as consistent as we were in the classroom, as consistent as we were on the court, small groups, big groups, sort of shows us that the pride that we have in the program and doing things the way we do them works. And there's details that matter. And I think as you approach this season and you look at that, there's a pride factor that goes involved. You know, I have a core group of juniors right now, been a part of a lot of wins, a lot of games. It's, you know, they are responsible now as upperclassmen to continue that on. And our young people that are in the program came here to be a part of some of those special things that they witnessed. So there's things that are proven that can get done if we do them the right way. And there's a pride about that right now. So, you know, I think as a coach, you really you want to sustain the success. It's really hard to sustain success, and constantly, you know, approaching how to get better without getting bored, so to speak, is the challenge. But you know, I like our guys. I've said that. You know, I've been very, very pleased with our guys, and we make no excuses about anything. And you know, we've never have, and we never will. And I think that's just the way we do business.
You guys have a very tough non-conference schedule coming up this year, and especially considering how close it was for you guys getting in last year when you really didn't think it was going to be that close. How much does that kind of magnify the importance of these games early on, especially with a lot of younger guys?
Well, I think it's been proven that the non-conference schedule is essential. You know, if you're not going to be in postseason talk if you don't win in conference. So, I mean, that's just a given. You got to compete in your conference. You got to find a way to win, you know, as many games as you can. But I think the non-conference should be, you know, one of the things that's looked at as how did you make the schedule, how did you do in the schedule, and did it prepare you to do well in your conference play? And I think every schedule we've ever as I've ever done has been in that sort of mind frame. Put yourself in position for March. We've been able to take advantage of that the back couple of years with big wins, non-conference wins, and good RPI games. And I think this schedule's as difficult as any we've played. It has the potential to be very, very difficult depending on how the Orlando draw can be. But the biggest thing is preparing us to get in the conference. And Atlantic 10 right now, to me, on paper, 6 to 8 teams, all have postseason aspirations. You have veteran teams coming back that had good seasons a year ago. It's a deeper league, so it's going to be harder to navigate. And to me, this conference and this conference schedule and our non-conference schedule should be stacked up right where the other ones were.
From the summer on, as you look at the new guys, surprises, things that maybe you didn't expect that you're seeing out of them?
They always surprise you because you recruit them and you know a lot about them, and then when they get in front of you every day and they start to live out sort of who you think they can be, you know, there's always some hiccups, ups and downs you weren't expecting. But every single one of the true freshmen, I would say true freshmen, guys that have been on campus the least, very impressed with their maturity level. They're a very low maintenance group in terms of distractions. They're on time and on target for everything that they're supposed to be doing. They're great guys to be around. They've added chemistry to our team right away with the way they act. Again, there's a learning curve. There's the physical alterations that have to go on with young players that they're just not ready for yet. But I tell you, they're a very impressive group, and I would be shocked if all of them didn't have their moment with our team this year, like a lot of our freshmen have had in the past, where they help us win games. And I think that's a big key. You know, how far they can come in a fast way will be important, though.
With him being a local guy, could you speak specifically to Zarius? I think he put on a good 10, 15 pounds coming in, lost some body fat.
Yeah, Zarius is a great kid. You know, he's been a joy to coach. He's as coachable as a guy we've had. I mean, you can tell that Travis, Coach Trice over there at Wayne, those guys do a phenomenal job. He's prepared. He works extremely hard. He's got an unbelievable motor. The one thing that's very surprising about him as a young guy right now is his agility. You know, his ability as a front court player to move is impressive, and defensively in particular, you know, he's ahead of the game and starting to be able to ask him to do certain things that a lot of freshmen can't do. So he's versatile. You know, his body's got to change. He's got to continue to grow and get weight, but he's young. You know, he's a young guy. He's actually probably the youngest guy on the team, and I have high hopes for him. but just more than anything, really happy he's with us. He's a great kid, and he's the type of guy you win with.